It is 2 in the morning. You are staring blankly at your analytics dashboard.
Yeah, we've all been there.
The video you just spent 2 solid weeks writing, shooting, and editing is sitting right there. And it is completely dead.
Right, and it always seems to happen when you're incredibly confident about it.
Yeah, exactly. So what do? You panic. You change the title. You swap the thumbnail to something much louder. You are entirely relying on your gut feeling. Beat. But what if I told you the exact mathematical reason it failed is already sitting inside your data?
Mm-hmm.
And you just aren't looking at it.
We live in an era where that information is entirely visible. We just refuse to do the math.
Right.
I mean, the math simply takes too much time for a human to do.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are on a very specific mission for you. We are unpacking an incredibly detailed guide on 5 distinct Claude AI skills.
And just to clarify, these aren't general writing tricks.
No, not at all. These are built specifically for high-level social media analysis.
Let's frame the value here immediately. This isn't about using AI to mindlessly generate generic, soulless posts.
Definitely not.
It is about using AI to do the heavy, tedious analytical lifting. It frees the human to actually be creative.
Right. So here is our roadmap for today. We will start by analyzing your own channel's hidden patterns.
Which is crucial.
Then we look at safely expanding your audience without alienating your core fans. After that, we scout your competitors.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
We track their permanent viral breakouts. Finally, we reverse engineer the perfect hook.
It is a complete strategic ecosystem.
Okay, let's unpack this. If you want to grow, your instinct is usually to look out into the wider internet. But before we do that, we have to look inward.
Right.
We have to analyze what is genuinely working on your own channel.
Because a strong video leaves an incredible trail of clues behind. But finding those clues across 50 or 100 videos, that is just beyond human working memory.
The guide suggests taking your raw channel data. You take your titles, view counts, hooks, and full transcripts, and you upload all of it straight into Claude.
Yeah, and the guide specifically recommends using the Claude Sonnet 5 model for this. They strongly advise against using Opus 4.8.
Why that specific model?
Well, Sonnet 5 is phenomenally good at handling massive files. It processes large context windows efficiently. Plus, the API cost is significantly lower.
Let's pause and define that quickly for everyone listening.
Sure. The tiny fee paid every time software talks to the AI.
Perfect. So we dump all this data into Sonnet 5. We give it a prompt to act as an elite content analyst. It starts ranking your videos. It specifically compares the top 20% against the bottom 20%.
And that comparison is the actual magic trick. It isolates the variables.
Right.
Let's say you run a tech review channel. Claude might notice that in your bottom 20%, you always start by listing technical specs. But in your top 20%, you always open with a relatable problem.
It's like stacking Lego blocks of data to build a perfectly clear picture of your audience's brain.
I love that. And what is fascinating here is the strictness of the prompt. It enforces a hard rule.
What kind of rule?
It must find these patterns in at least 2 top-performing videos.
Because one hit is just luck, like an algorithm glitch.
Exactly. 1 viral video is an anomaly. 2 starts to form a reliable pattern.
Yeah.
Once it establishes those multi-video patterns, it hands you data-backed content gaps. Then it suggests 5 brand new video ideas based on real data.
But I have a very practical question here. My analytics dashboard is often a disaster.
Oh, sure. Same.
What happens if the data we upload is just too messy? Or what if we are completely missing key metrics, like average watch time? Will the AI just guess?
The prompt is explicitly built to prevent that. It commands Claude to flag missing data immediately. It completely refuses to hallucinate fake numbers just to please you.
Right, so it refuses to guess if the evidence isn't there.
Exactly. It forces you to operate in reality.
So Claude has perfectly optimized your content for your existing fans. 2-sec silence. But there's an obvious ceiling to that.
Yeah, you hit a wall eventually.
If you only talk to people who already agree with you, you stop growing. You have to step outside your bubble. But how do you do that without accidentally pivoting your entire channel?
Yeah.
You don't want to alienate the people who actually buy your product.
That is the eternal struggle of the creator. You want explosive growth. But you really don't want empty views from people who don't care about your actual mission.
The guide introduces a framework for this exact problem. You upload your ideal customer profile and your core product information.
Right.
Then Claude builds what they call an audience bullseye.
I really love this concept because it creates boundaries. It breaks your potential audience into 5 distinct rings.
Ring 1 is your core buyers, the true fans.
Yeah.
Ring 2 is the problem-aware audience, people who need you but don't know you. Ring 3 is the adjacent audience.
Right. And ring 4 is the broader, relevant audience. Finally, ring 5 is broad interest. Think of ring 5 as the general public.
Let's make this concrete. If I run a channel about specialized marathon training, my ring 1 is competitive marathon runners.
Makes sense?
What is my ring 4 or 5?
Well, ring 4 might be people who just want to lose weight by jogging. They care about fitness, but they don't care about marathon pacing.
Right.
Ring 5 would be anyone who owns sneakers. Broad, generic interest.
The prompt then enforces a strict constraint on Claude. It is called the 3-2-2 content mix.
This is brilliant pacing for a content calendar.
Yeah.
It dictates 3 posts strictly for ring 1, 2 posts for rings 2 and 3, 2 posts for ring 4.
And ring 5 is completely excluded. You don't make content for the general public unless there is a highly specific strategic reason.
Absolutely.
Wait, isn't the whole point of social media to go as broad as possible to get maximum views?
You'd think so, but if we connect this to the bigger picture, raw views don't pay the bills. If you make a viral video for ring 5 about tying your shoes, you get 1 million views. But those people will never buy your advanced marathon guide.
Because they don't care about marathons.
Exactly. You just diluted your core message. You ruined your algorithm targeting.
Okay, but if I'm asking Claude for ideas for ring 4, how do we stop the AI from just suggesting generic viral trends? I don't want it telling me to do a running dance challenge.
Because the prompt explicitly forbids broad labels. It bans generic words like marketers or fitness fans. It demands highly specific, painful problems for every single audience group.
It acts like a bouncer, keeping irrelevant views out of your strategy.
Exactly. You expand your reach, but you expand it safely.
Okay, you have your audience rings clearly defined now. You know exactly who you're talking to. The next logical step is looking outward. You want to see what is working for your competitors in those exact same rings.
But you have to be extremely careful here, because raw views are a complete lie.
That is a bold statement. Walk us through why raw views are a lie.
Look at it proportionally. A 50,000 view video on a massive channel with 2 million subscribers is actually a miserable flop.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But on a tiny channel with 1,000 subscribers, that exact same view count is an absolute goldmine. It signals something highly resonant.
The scale dictates the success, not the raw number.
Precisely. That is why the prompt ignores raw views. It calculates an outlier score instead.
Let's define that term for the listener.
A video's views divided by that channel's normal average views.
So it levels the playing field completely. Small channels suddenly get a fair shot at being analyzed.
Yes. The prompt takes those scores and ranks them into 3 tiers.
Okay.
Extreme outliers are 3 times the channel's normal average. Strong outliers are 2 times the normal. Promising outliers are 1.5 times normal.
It also excludes any channel with under 10 valid videos, right? That ensures the mathematical average actually means something.
That's right, you need a baseline.
Whoa. Beat. Imagine instantly spotting hidden trends across 50 different channels before they go mainstream.
It is a massive tactical advantage. You aren't just looking at what is generally popular. You are looking for what the guide calls emerging signals.
Which are what, exactly?
These are hidden patterns that are only just starting to appear in recent outliers.
Okay, wait. If I'm feeding an AI the exact video that caused a competitor's channel to explode,
Yeah.
my instinct is to just say, hey, Claude, write me a script exactly like this. But if everyone does that, social media just becomes an echo chamber of clones.
Completely.
What's to stop us from just taking these outlier ideas and completely ripping them off?
The prompt is way ahead of you on that. It explicitly bans copying hooks or structural layouts.
Really?
Instead, it analyzes why the outlier worked. Maybe it was a unique framing of a common problem. It forces the AI to generate completely unique adaptations tailored to your specific niche.
It extracts the underlying recipe, but forces you to cook your own meal.
Beautifully said. You leverage the proven mechanics without ever sacrificing your originality.
Spotting a single competitor outlier is highly valuable. That gives you a great video idea.
Definitely.
But spotting the exact moment a competitor's entire channel permanently leveled up, that is the holy grail of strategy.
It really is. We are moving from finding a good video to detecting a creator's fundamental breakout moment.
The guide has a specific skill designed just for this. You take a creator's entire video history, you put it in strict chronological order, and then you upload it into Claude.
First, Claude looks at their last 10 videos. This establishes their normal baseline. Once it has that average, it starts scanning forward. It hunts for a massive, uncharacteristic jump. Specifically, it looks for a video pulling in at least double their normal viewership.
It's like looking at an X-ray that reveals the exact moment a creator's DNA mutated for the better.
Yes, but the prompt does something absolutely crucial next. Finding a sudden spike is easy, but Claude is instructed to check the next 5 videos immediately following that spike.
To see if the new baseline holds.
Exactly. Because if the views drop right back down to the old average, it was just a one-time viral fluke.
And a fluke doesn't teach you anything useful.
Not at all. But if the new baseline holds steady, you are looking at a sustained breakout. Once Claude confirms it, it generates a detailed before versus after table.
And this is where you analyze what actually changed. You aren't just looking at thumbnail colors.
No, it goes way deeper.
You look at their storytelling structure, you check their pacing, you examine how they changed their calls to action.
Let's say a creator went from getting 5,000 views to 50,000 views consistently.
Okay.
The AI might reveal that in the before phase, they always introduced themselves for 30 seconds. In the after phase, they dropped the intro entirely and started mid-action.
But let me challenge that. We know platforms change their recommendation engines all the time.
Sure.
Could an algorithm glitch trick the AI into thinking a breakout happened when it was just a temporary platform push?
That's exactly why it analyzes the next 5 videos. It looks for structural narrative changes in the transcripts. It isn't just looking at the view count. It demands proof of a lasting qualitative change in the actual content.
It requires sustained evidence, filtering out random spikes of algorithmic luck.
The AI is ruthless about demanding evidence.
Mid-roll sponsor read.
Okay, we're back.
Think about what we've built today. We have a strategy based on internal channel data. We mapped our audience rings. We found competitor outliers. We tracked their permanent breakouts.
It is a phenomenal foundation.
2-sec silence. But absolutely none of it matters if a viewer scrolls past your video in the first 3 seconds.
The hook is the ultimate gatekeeper. If the hook fails, the entire ecosystem we just built fails right along with it.
This brings us to the 5th and final skill, building a hook machine. First, you upload your own past-winning videos specifically to extract the opening hooks.
Claude takes those specific hooks and groups them into repeated structural categories.
Like what?
It finds your underlying frameworks, things like a personal experiment framework, an unexpected results setup, or a specific problem framing.
Then, it builds a 100-point scoring rubric to judge your future hooks. And this rubric is based on 4 critical pillars: curiosity, tension, specificity, and payoff.
Those 4 elements are the psychological levers that dictate human attention.
Let's break that down because it sounds a bit abstract. Let's look at tension. A bad hook says, "I bought a new camera."
Right. There's zero tension there.
Exactly. But if Claude applies tension, it might rewrite it as, "I spent $5,000 on a camera and it ruined my most important shoot."
Right. Claude recognizes that contrasting a high price with a disastrous outcome creates instant psychological tension in the viewer's mind.
And specificity works the same way. "I lost weight" is boring, but "I lost 14 pounds eating only potatoes" grabs you immediately.
Specific details prove that you actually have a real story to tell.
I'll be honest, I still wrestle with judging my own hooks by instinct alone. It is painfully subjective.
We all do. You spend 50 hours on a script. You are entirely too close to the material to know if the first 10 words are objectively interesting. That is why this rubric is an absolute lifesaver.
You paste a completely new hook into the chat. Claude scores it out of 100 based on those 4 pillars. It identifies the absolute weakest link in your text.
Then it writes 5 improved variations for you. But here's the critical part. It bases those variations only on your proven past structures that it identified earlier.
But hold on, if I'm letting software write new hooks for me, doesn't it run the risk of sounding like a robotic clickbait generator? Like, you won't believe what happens next.
No, because the prompt acts as a strict guardrail. It forces the AI to only use the distinct, authentic structures that your actual human audience previously loved and validated.
Nice.
It strictly refuses to use generic clickbait tropes.
Your past successes literally become the mentors for your future ideas.
That is exactly how the system works. It removes the guesswork while preserving your unique voice.
Let's synthesize all of this. The overarching philosophy of this deep dive is incredibly clear. The era of staring at a blinking cursor, hoping inspiration strikes, is over.
And the era of staring at raw view counts and just guessing why something worked is entirely done.
These 5 skills do not replace the creator's unique voice. They replace the tedious, manual guesswork of content strategy.
It's about leveraging AI as your personal elite data analyst. It crunches the massive data sets so you can spend your valuable time actually creating.
Here is where it gets really interesting for you, the listener. We talked a lot today about finding breakout moments in social media data.
We did, spotting that permanent structural shift from the baseline.
But what if you applied that same before and after analysis to your own career trajectory?
Oh, wow.
2-sec silence. What invisible baseline are you trying to break out of right now?
That is a phenomenal question to ponder. Thank you for exploring these concepts with us today.
Thanks for joining this deep dive. Stay curious and keep analyzing your world.